Hello, fellow romantics. I am so happy to be back on this free feed. It took me a while, a long while, but here I am. It actually took me a lot longer than I expected, and that was because of some things that were out of my control, but that really disrupted my recovery. Let's focus on the future, though. I don't want to give up on this podcast. I'm not going to lie. It's taken a big hit. But I'm going to try to keep it going, and I'm going to start by releasing episodes again here on this free feed every 2 weeks. This podcast is still here right now because of the generous people, the fellow romantics that keep the show going for everyone with their support. And they've often supported this show for years. I would like to thank them all after we listen to the story in this episode. But first, since it's been such a long time, I thought the best way to relaunch this story is with a binge session of part 1 to 7. You can find this binge file in the free feed, but maybe you're ready to start with part 8. You've already listened to the binge file or you remember the previous episodes. So let's get to part 8. This is it, part 8, finally. Welcome back to the Lesbian Romantic Podcast. This is Waking Up is Easy, Part 8. It's hard to keep track of everything that happened in those first few days. It really was a total mess, and things developed at lightning speed. Let's see if you can keep track so far. Okay. Monday night. Usha wakes up and asks me if I am awake. I ignore Audrey's texts, and she calls the police. Later, Audrey decides to leave. In summary, horrible night. Tuesday morning, I try to convince Audrey to stay, but she leaves anyway. I go to work later in the day and spot the crazy goggle lady vlogger person. I go back home and hide. Horrible day overall. Wednesday morning, I wake up to my phone nearly exploding with online harassment and quickly go to the center. There, Usha refuses to tell me her real name and grabs my hand. Horrible start to the day. Again. Okay, I wanted to have all of this straight before I share with you what happened next. Because we're not anywhere near the end of the list of events for that day. Case number A4752024. Incident number 003. Report on incident number 1 with unauthorized individual. Officers Wyland and Grand. Location Quiet Peace Coma Care Center, Windfall. The day after Jane Doe number 3 woke up, see incident report 002 within the case, an individual showed up in the parking lot of the Quiet Peace Coma Center. The center director, Maya Phillips, informed us that several Quiet Peace employees had reported to her that they were harassed by this individual while walking to their cars. No one pressed charges at the police station, though. We decided to drive by the center the next morning around 8 a.m. for a check, just in case. We indeed spotted the van as reported by Maya Phillips the evening before. However, this van was parked just outside private property and so did not violate any laws at that point. We did not witness any ongoing harassment, but still decided to check if someone was sleeping in the van. This would be a violation of city code. However, the owner of the van was not present, and there were no outstanding warrants for the van's license plate. There was nothing more we could do at that point. We planned to go back to the center in the late afternoon to talk to Jane Doe number 3 and Catherine Halifax, which was a follow-up unrelated to this specific report. Looking back, I see that in the first days after Usha woke up, I kept running to her, only to then run away from her. I couldn't handle the intensity. I still struggle, to be honest. I wouldn't normally share this, but the movie makes a fuss about it, so I have to. No, I did not kiss my own hand in tears once I was alone. I only stared at it for a second. Maybe 2. Anyway, Maya arrived at the center not long after I did. I had gone back to my office after that morning's short but incredibly frustrating conversation with Usha.
As I feel you are sleeping.
Maya's phone was being targeted just as mine was. She was getting a flood of calls, text messages, and emails. Maya was understandably upset. She told me she had already reached out to the police the night before because of crazy goggles. No, I shouldn't say crazy goggles. It hurts her feelings. Okay, so Maya had already informed the police about she who we shall not call Crazy Goggles and her van in the parking lot. As far as she knew then, the police hadn't done a thing. When Maya heard I was being harassed too, she contacted the police again to demand that charges be filed. Case number A4752024. Incident number 004. Report on incident number 2 with unauthorized individual. Officers Wyland and Grand. Location: Quiet Peace Coma Care Center, Windfall. Later that Wednesday, see Incident Report 003, we were called again by Maya Phillips. This time, she wanted to press charges with the Department for Online Harassment. She insisted we join her at the center to take note of events that had occurred in the last 12 hours, both online and offline. She indicated her staff might be in danger. Our officers were all at the training center, but since Phillips reported possible escalation, Officer Wyland left the training center early and went back to Quiet Peace around 10 a.m. At this time, Maya Phillips was impatient and agitated with Officer Wyland. She reported multiple instances of online stalking and harassment involving herself and her employee, Catherine Halifax, as victims. She also suggested the police department had dropped the ball by not looking into the unauthorized individual from last night, assuming this person had something to do with the harassment. See complaint number 7364. Phillips also pointed out that the van was still parked in front of the center, which Officer Wyland was able to confirm after just walking past it. Phillips indicated she wanted to file charges regarding the slanderous videos and online harassment straight away. See complaint number 6474. Officer Wyland, who dictated this report while still unable to write because of the injuries sustained at the scene, suggested he approach the individual in the parking lot first to make sure this person was involved. I'll talk to her, Maya told me later. We were standing at Usha's door. I remember that I wanted to protest, but I decided not to. Maya looked frayed and tired, and I felt a little guilty, to be honest. If I had warned Maya about this vlogger immediately after Audrey had sent me the first video, maybe she would not have been so overwhelmed by everything that was happening that morning. I know, Maya continued. You are the therapist here, and I want to respect your turf. But the police will be back very soon, and they're pissed off. So I think it's best if I ask the questions from now on. That's fine, I replied reluctantly. This is not a therapy session. None of this seems like it is Usha's fault, though. I mean, how could she be responsible for what just happened? I honestly hadn't fully grasped what had just occurred while standing at Usha's door. Like I said last time, at a certain point, your brain just stops processing things. Luckily, the police department kept a very good record of what happened. Not all of you have watched the movie or read the book, I assume. And I wasn't there for the actual attack, so I have to refer to another source. The police report would be best, but I have to admit, this is the part of the movie that I did actually like, and the director said it is based on the report, so... Excuse me, miss? Miss, I'm Officer Wyland. Can you please remove the glasses so we can have a chat? Oh, hi. I'm not doing anything wrong here. Do you have ID? Yes, I'm Officer Wyland, miss. Please, I'd like to see your eyes before I show you my ID. See my eyes? Why? Miss, that looks like a special type of glasses. Could you please take them off so I can see your eyes? You know, like when we ask to see your hands. You can see my hands. I'm not holding a weapon. I know, but could you please show me your... Leave her alone! She's fighting the holy fight! Fuck! Go to the one who woke up! We all need to wake up! Like I said, I wasn't there, so I can't tell you how accurate the movie was. But I know this scene was a hit on many video sites, despite copyright issues. Officer Wyland was taken to the hospital by an ambulance. I guess they needed to wash out his eyes. It didn't seem all that serious to me, but I guess I shouldn't say that. The lady who pepper sprayed him was arrested on the spot. And she, who we shall not call Crazy Goggles, was too, of course, even though she technically hadn't done anything. Now, the police chief agreed to send another car to protect us from anyone else showing up with bad intentions. To this day, I wonder why he didn't stop the press then. But I'm getting ahead of myself again. Maya and I went to talk to Usha to warn her about the police. Now that the pepper spray lady had screamed about Usha while attacking poor Officer Wyland, Usha became even more suspect. Let me check my notes for a moment. I need to make sure I don't mix things up. So, Maya and I are standing in front of Usha's door to warn her about the police. At this point, both of our phones were back in the office, switched off, and Brittany had unplugged the center's general phone line because crazy people, of course, had started to call that number too. To avoid families of patients being dragged into all this madness, Brittany had called all of them from her personal cell phone to warn them about the online attack. She also advised them to stay away until further notice, which they all did, except for... No, stay on track. Wednesday morning, online attack on me and Maya. Wednesday noon, pepper spray attack on Officer Wyland. Just afternoon, Usha has her first fans. Oh, hi, Maya said, startled, as Usha's door opened before we could step inside. Hope's cheeks reddened. Hey, boss, I was just about to leave. Just did a final check of our miracle patient. One of the other night nurses, Megan, also walked out of the door. Oh, hey, Maya. Both nurses avoided my gaze. I didn't understand why back then. Actually, I don't think I understand right now. All I can say is that from this point on, everyone started to act weird. You'll see. From this point in the story, I start looking like the sane one. For a while, at least. URL: thewordofusha.com. Page title: Day 1 of Usha's Prophecies. Submitted by Hope Eternal 91, Anonymous, and Usha Leads Us 23. Subtitle 1: Words for Waking. Text: Why am I here? No, why am I here? Yes, I woke up. I am awake. But are you? Commentary. Here, Usha invites us to wake up along with her. She challenges us to look beyond merely opening our eyes physically She asks us to open our eyes to new meaning. Gently, Usha reminds us that most of us are sleepwalking through life. Usha did not say much on day 1 of her waking up, but these few words were all she needed to start our collective journey to a new awakening. Note: the content of this page is verified by a person who was present at Usha's waking. URL: thewordofusha.com. Page title: Day 2 of Usha's Prophecies. Submitted by Hope Eternal 91, Anonymous, and Awake 234. Subtitle 1: Usha's Invitation. Text: Where is the one who is asleep? You have your eyes closed while walking. Yes, where is the one who is asleep? Why won't you come to me and hold my hand? Commentary. On day 2 of the awakening, Usha invites everyone who is asleep. She invites us to join her and hold her hand. She offers to guide us to a new way of being. Will you take Usha's hand when she offers it? This was part 8 of Waking Up is Easy. I was able to write, record, and produce this episode on the free feed with the help of some very special people who are supporting the creation of this show. Without their help, I would not be able to do this, and they have often supported my work for many, many years. So thank you. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Carnett. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Portia. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Jamie. Merci, the Swiss banana. Merci, Juice Spray. Thank you, Emily. Danke, I think, Johannes. Dankjewel, Anna. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Greta. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Sharon. And I'm sorry I didn't keep up with the different languages. Merci. Dankjewel. Allemaal. Thank you all. Thank you, Esche. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Janie. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, MF Twin Mom. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, 84 Judith. Thank you, Sheena Riel. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Trinda. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, T. Lynn. Merci, Bella Jessup. Thank you, Matthias. Thank you, Selena. Merci, Carla. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Adam. Dankjewel, Mel. Thank you, Melisandre. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Sydney. Dankjewel, Annaluz. Thank you, Sarah. Merci, Sihem. Thank you, Fawn. Thank you, Painfully on Fire. Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you, Shelley. Merci, Huggins. Dankjewel, Helene. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Noelie. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Myrte. Thank you, Cornelie. Thank you, Silva. Thank you, Lesbian Mel. Thank you, RB by the Sea. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Alana. And thank you to the newest member, Rebland22. And thank you, Kat. There's been a few of you who've had to cancel lately because times are tough. And I do want to thank you as well. I'm not going to name you, that would be a little bit awkward. But please know you will be friends of the podcast forever. And you're here in my heart with everyone else. Thank you so much. You've made such a big difference. And I hope you still hear this. Thank you. All right. That is it for this first episode back on the free feed. Again, if you would like to listen to part 9, it is available on Patreon for free. All you have to do is sign up for a free account and you can listen to that straight away. And on this feed, I should be back in 2 weeks on Patreon, hopefully a little bit earlier with part 10. And I hope to see you there or here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me. And talk to you soon.